Assalamualaikum everybody, it's Jenna G, that's me, the hijabi from TNT, and I am so excited about today's video. A few days ago we celebrated Eid al-Adha here in Trinidad. It's actually the greater of the two Eids for us Muslims. You guys might be familiar with Eid al-Fitr, and we also have Eid al-Adha. So after Eid al-Adha, we usually end up with a lot of beef, a lot of goat on our hands, and I was so excited when I got my hands on these ribs. What a perfect dinner idea to make like ribs with some vegetables or potatoes and rice. Such a delightful meal. So I am going to be working with this today. We're going to be seasoning it, and now it's about I think around 11 o'clock in the day, but I want to season it now always for dinner, just because I wanted to sit and marinate for as long as possible. We're going to be seasoning it up with a dry rub. Now usually for meats like beef and steaks, lamb, I prefer using a dry rub. Our green seasoning here in Trinidad is fantastic, but when you use a dry rub on these sort of meat, you get some intense flavors that your taste buds will just enjoy and will just go crazy with. So we're going to be doing a dry rub with this, and we're actually going to be including some liquid smoke. This is something that I don't really work with. I got it here in Trinidad. It's pretty good. It gives that nice kind of outdoor smoky flavor, and of course with ribs you must include some smoky flavor in it, right? So we're going to be using just a touch of that, and we're going to be doing a dry rub on it. We're going to let it sit for a couple hours. I won't put this to bake until maybe later this evening around 4 or 5, so that's a good couple of hours marinating, which is what we want. Alright, so we're going to season up our beef ribs and let it set aside to marinate. So I have a baking tray, and I lined it with a piece of foil sheet, and all I'm going to be doing is adding a little of each of these, including my liquid smoke and fresh rosemary. Now beef and lamb is not the same without fresh rosemary, so you need to be sure and get your fresh rosemary when you're going to be making baked lamb or steaks or any kind of something like this kind of dish. Get your fresh rosemary. So okay, now it's the fun part. Have our beef ribs lined up. I'm going to be using some of this jerk seasoning. Now when you use this jerk seasoning, you don't actually need to put any salt in it. So I'm going to be doing on each side. So I'm going to do this side first. Adding some geera as well to beef and lamb, even like chicken soups. It gives an intense flavor that you will absolutely enjoy. Paprika goes in today as well. Garlic powder, cayenne pepper, parsley, and some of my liquid smoke is going into there as well. I'm adding some meat tenderizer as well, my fresh rosemary. And we're throwing in some olive oil as well. And now all we're going to be doing is just rubbing it in. Make sure it gets in nice. What you can do is insert some slits. Use a knife and cut into it and let the seasoning go in. Alright guys, so we just finished seasoning up our beef ribs. Some things to note: I use meat tenderizer in it to help with the cook time. Also, this meat tenderizer has salt in it, so you want to be mindful of that, especially if you're using items like this which already contain salt. So you don't want to use too much of this if you aren't using the meat tenderizer. So I would suggest you taste afterwards, adjust your salt afterwards, but all of these you can go ahead and add the ones that don't contain the salt. So just be careful of the salt content. You don't want to over salt your beef ribs. Before we bake, we're going to brown it on each side, and then we're going to bake it for a little while. So we'll be back in a couple hours. Alright guys, and it's a couple hours later. We put this beef ribs to marinate around 11 o'clock this morning, and now it's almost 5 p.m. So it had enough time to marinate. I had it in the refrigerator for the first couple of hours, and I took it out about 2 hours ago so that it could be at room temperature when we are ready to cook it. Now, before we're going to put this into the oven, what I'm going to do first of all is brown or cook the outside of it on my grill. And the reason for doing that is just to lock all the moisture in and all the juices in. And after that, we're going to cover back the tray, leave it on the baking tray, cover it, and put it in the oven. So let's go grill it and cook the outside of it. So I have the grill heated here. I have some non-stick spray on it, and I am just going to add my beef. Just want it to get brown on both sides. Alright, so we finished our beef ribs, grilling it on both sides. And now I am just going to put some more fresh rosemary just on the top. I absolutely love the rosemary taste in this sort of meat. I also have some vegetables that I'm going to be putting up at the same time. So I'm just going to lay them out all nicely. Some Brussels sprouts. Stir it up a little bit. Oh my goodness, can you see that? When meat is cooked and is off the bone like that, when you can see the bone like that, your meat is finished. Alright guys, so that's all I have for you today. Beef ribs look fantastic. The vegetables are nicely done as well. I'm just going to be eating this with some rice on the side. Now you're probably thinking beef ribs with rice. I am a rice lover. Rice is life for me. So I'm just going to make a little on the side. Yeah, I got some nice vegetables to go with it, and it looks amazing and it smells delicious right now. So thanks so much for watching, and if you do have some beef ribs, give this a try. Use the dry rub, have fun with it, let it marinate for as long as possible, and I guarantee your taste buds will love you a lot more. Thanks for watching. Look out for more videos to come.